Men, let me start with something raw and real. A relationship doesn't collapse in one night. It doesn't end with fireworks, drama, and a sudden goodbye. Most of the time, it dies quietly, slowly, piece by piece. And the first pieces always fall when respect begins to disappear. Not love, not attraction, respect. Because here's the truth. A woman can love you and still leave you, but she will never leave a man she truly respects. Now, respect isn't taken away in obvious ways. It's not always screaming, cheating, or slamming doors. Sometimes it's hidden in the smallest of phrases. Words that seem harmless on the surface, but underneath, they're dripping with poison. Today, I'm going to expose the 5 most dangerous phrases a woman can say to a man. Phrases that reveal how she really sees you, whether she values you or whether she secretly thinks you're disposable. Ignore these words, and you risk years of wasted time, emotional damage, and the slow death of your masculinity. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to listen for, why these phrases are psychological landmines, and why the only smart move when you hear them is to protect your pride, your sanity, and sometimes even your future, and walk away. Phrase number 1. You're too sensitive. The disrespect disguised as a joke. Let's get this straight. When a woman tells you you're too sensitive, it's almost never about you overreacting. It's about her avoiding accountability. This is one of the most manipulative phrases because it dismisses your feelings instead of addressing them. It says, your emotions don't matter. My actions don't need to change. You're the problem, not me. Why is it so destructive? Because over time, you begin to doubt your own reality. You hesitate to speak up because you're conditioned to believe your boundaries are weakness. That's exactly how respect erodes, one silenced boundary at a time. Example, she shows up 40 minutes late to dinner. You calmly say, I don't like being kept waiting. Instead of apologizing, she smirks. Wow, you're too sensitive. Translation? She just flipped the blame from her disrespect to your supposed fragility. A woman who truly respects you won't mock your boundaries, she'll honor them. If she doesn't, leave. Phrase number 2. You should be more like. The comparison that kills attraction. The moment she starts comparing you to other men, her ex, a coworker, even a celebrity, what she's really saying is, you're not enough for me. This is devastating because it plants a seed of insecurity. And once you start watering that seed, you're done. You stop being your authentic self and start bending into the shape of another man. An imaginary standard you'll never fully reach. Light bulb example. You've been grinding at work, missing the gym. One night, she says, you should be more like James from my office. He's so fit. Sounds harmless? No. It's a dagger wrapped in casual conversation. Respectful women don't build you by tearing you down. They encourage growth while valuing who you already are. The moment she puts another man on a pedestal, she's showing you she doesn't see you as the prize. She sees you as the project. And projects always get abandoned. Phrase number 3. I don't need you. The power play in disguise. On the surface, it sounds like independence. But in the context of a relationship, it's a declaration. You're replaceable. Now, independence is healthy. Emotional detachment is not. When a woman keeps repeating, I don't need you, she's not saying she's capable. She's reminding you that you're optional. And here's what happens. You stop feeling appreciated. You stop giving your best. Because no man wants to keep pouring into someone who acts like she could drop him tomorrow and feel nothing. Signs this phrase is creeping into behavior. She stops acknowledging your efforts. She makes decisions without you. She carries herself as if losing you wouldn't scratch her world. Men, you can feel when a woman values you. You can also feel when she's signaling detachment. Ignore that signal, and you'll find yourself present in the relationship, but invisible in her heart. Phrase number 4. If you loved me, you would. The manipulation trap. This one is lethal. Why? Because it weaponizes your love against you. If you loved me, you would isn't communication. It's emotional blackmail. It's designed to corner you into doing things you may not want to do, spending money you don't have, or bending principles you should never bend. Here's the danger. The more you give in, the more it becomes her default strategy. She learns that all she has to do is question your love, and you'll fold. That's not love. That's control. Light bulb, remember. Real love is expressed through actions you choose to give, not through guilt-driven compliance. The moment you hear this phrase, stop and ask yourself, is this genuine love or manipulation in disguise? The answer will save you. Phrase number 5. You're lucky to have me. The subtle threat to your value. This might sound playful. It might even sound like confidence. But the truth is, it's a dagger to the heart of respect. When she says you're lucky to have me, she's not celebrating your relationship. She's reminding you she's the prize and you're the beggar. Over time, you start working harder and harder to deserve her, while she relaxes on a pedestal she built for herself. And here's the trap. Instead of both of you valuing each other equally, you end up chasing her validation while she acts like staying with you is charity. Lightbulb, a woman who truly respects you won't need to remind you you're lucky. She'll make you feel lucky by the way she treats you. And you'll do the same for her. That's real partnership. Final truth. Gentlemen, these 5 phrases aren't red flags. They're alarms. If they show up in your relationship, you're not in love. You're in a slow-motion breakup. Most men don't lose women because they weren't good enough. They lose them because they ignored the early signs of disrespect. And once respect dies, no amount of love, money, or effort will bring it back. So if you hear these words, remember, you don't need to fight, beg, or prove yourself. You need to walk away with your dignity intact. Because the right woman won't need to tear you down to build herself up. Oncoming fist question for you. Have you ever been hit with one of these phrases? How did it play out? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And your experience could be the wake-up call another man desperately needs. And in the next video, I'm exposing the psychological tests women use to secretly measure a man's strength. You think you've never been tested? Trust me, you have. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it.